On the 1st of March 2010, a group of journalists from the International Communications Forum, including Martin Lewis, Magnus Linklater, Michael Smith, Robin Williamson and Pam Jenner, visited the Lincoln School of Journalism to meet with staff and students to discuss the world of ethical dilemmas and newspapers going online. Professor Richard Keeble did not take long to get down to business, asking a Scottish edition of the Times editor, Magnus Linklater, the probing question of, newspapers are moving online. How is this an ethical threat?
It's an ethical threat because, God, you're getting me straight to the, right into the heart of
university.
it. Bloody hell. Anyway, what the ethical threat is very simply stated. Newspapers have the resources, and have hitherto had the resources, to train up journalists, to weld them into a reporting team, to set certain standards, for better or for worse, but nevertheless to control the output of those journalists and to ensure that certain standards are met.
Former BBC anchorman Martin Lewis was quick to answer the question, recognising how important it is to embrace online technology, referring closely to the digital newspaper device known as the Kindle.
As you asked the question that Magnus has talked about, I have a slightly different take on it. I actually think that there is a possibility that the newspaper world will actually get it right.
Many years for the Cambridge Evening News, Pam Jenner was next to tackle the question and immediately explained what is good and what is bad about the newspaper industry and journalism as a whole in today's world.
I could just echo what Magnus has said as far as the condition of newspapers is today and the good and bad. But could I bring it down to a more journalistic level of what I think is good and what is bad about journalism today in newspapers? And one of the things that I think is really bad and has been for many years, but it seems to be getting worse, is this insidious political bias on national newspapers.
Freelance and obituary writer Michael Smith finally gave his view on newspapers moving onto the net and focused on the democratisation of the media and also ethical dilemmas he had to face as a journalist.
I think one of the great developments of online technology is the democratization of the media. And we're seeing this with what has now become known as citizen journalism. So I think the onus is back on you as young professionals, as the schools of journalism, to emphasize this business of absolute integrity.
A terrific debate running through today with students, members of the public, colleagues. The issues are so complex, really, aren't they? There's no really right or wrong. It's important that so many different voices are heard. We've heard some terrifically well-informed discussion today.
Richard, can I add just one PS, which is something that may have a sort of, I don't know whether you've heard about this in the journalism school here, but in a journalism school many, many years ago, decades ago, someone put a notice up on the notice board which said there is only one emotion stronger than love or hate, and it is the need to change another person's copy. and that had only been up there for 15 minutes before someone crossed out the word change and read alter.
Excellent. On that note.